Hello, hello. Kelly here. Welcome to SPTV Never Ends and Artology. And this is working in polymer clay, part 2. I have the same pile in the same spot as when I left you. So we just got finished chopping up um, blocks of clay, different colors, making it into little squares and distributing it, mixing it up into a pile where we are going to just start smashing it together and making like a log. So, one reason I like to work in polymer clay is I like the way the clay feels. And it just has a feel to it that's soothing. To put it one way. I don't know what I like about it. And let me tell you, white clay, not this pearl white, but regular white clay, once I put it through the pasta machine and soften it and make it into a flat sheet, the feel of it is so cool to me. I don't know, it sounds weird, but I like to feel the clay. It's very soothing and cathartic to me for some reason. So see, it's all stuck together. I'm going to start rolling it, making it into a log. I can hear my bracelets hitting on the glass. I notice my hands really look bad. I work with metal, and so I have nicks and bumps everywhere, and maybe I should start using more hand lotion if I'm going to do this. So I want to get it tight like that. And then you start twisting it. You want to twist it. This is mixing all of the colors together. This is, I mean, you have to really work it and see it starts to fall apart. You just push it back together. I'm going to roll it some more. If you just do this with scrap clay, like here's some scrap clay, and it's already been, softened and put through the pasta machine, and it sticks together a lot better than clay right out of the package. Like I took this right out of the package, so it hasn't had time to warm up, and it doesn't stay together as well as if you were using scrap pieces of clay that has already been worked. So I'm going to twist it some more. Really want these colors to get intertwined and mixed together. So just keep working and working and working it. It will get easier as I go. The warmth from my hands helps too. And where you store your clay makes a difference also. And like in the winter, just because it's colder in the winter, the clay is always harder to work with in the winter. In the summer months, it seems to be easier to work with, which makes sense. Okay, see, it's starting to kind of come together. I'm going to roll it out more, try to make it a little longer and thinner, just so it will, I mean, I can still feel it coming apart, but it's starting to stay together better, so you can see. Now you can see where it's starting to not melt together, but it is staying together a little better. Now when I twist it, I feel it coming apart. You can see it breaking apart. That's okay. Just kind of push it back together as you're twisting. I'm going to get all the way down to the ends. Now, at this point, I'm going to take the whole thing and bend it in half, and I'm going to start over. I'm going to roll it out and make it one piece again. You can still see a line where it's still separated. I want that line to disappear, so it's just a process that takes a little time. There's nothing hard about it, that's for sure. Okay, now I'm going to twist it again. And you can mix the clay too much, like I said in the last stream. You want to avoid that, because I meant to grab a piece to show you clay that has been mixed too much. I wanted to show you what happens. Maybe I'll look for a piece before this stream is over. You can see it's starting to look really pretty, but where I see these big clumps, like this big band of orange, I want to twist that a little bit more. It looks pretty good there. These big two pieces of big orange I'm not happy with. I'm going to break this in half, and then I'm going to make this into a rectangle. First I'm going to try to get it to go together. I do not want that line down the middle, for sure. So just kind of mush it together and see if I can't get this to look more like one piece instead of two pieces pushed together. So at this point, I have a handy dandy piece of plexiglass. I have a bunch of different pieces, different sizes. I have big ones, small ones. This is the one I use the most, though. This will help me square it up. So what I'm doing is just using it to try to get it into a rectangle. It's even, more even than this. You just have to work it. I want that line to disappear. Sometimes it won't completely disappear, but that's okay. So I'm going on all four sides. It's starting to come into the shape. Well, okay. Looks like I'm not going to be able to get rid of that line completely, but that's okay. So when you get it to where you're happy with it. I'm not quite there yet. You never can get it perfect, or at least I can't. I'm sure there are people who are better at this than I am. And you can make this rectangle as long and thin as you want it, or shorter and thicker. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it a little shorter and wider. I have stuff falling out of my lap. I have some finished pieces that I want to show you, some of my favorites that I wear often. Okay, so the squares are now into a block. At this point, it's really soft, and we're going to start taking slices off of it, but you really want to let this rest for at least, I would say, half an hour before you start cutting into it, because if you cut into it when it's soft, you're going to get, it's just going to kind of like push together and mush together, and you're not going to be happy with how it turns out. A lot of people put it in the refrigerator for a little while, but I'm just going to let it sit here for a few minutes, and I will show you a few of the pieces that I have to grab this with my foot because it fell. A few of the necklaces that I really like, that I wear a lot. This was one of the first ones I made, and it's not perfect, you know, it's a little wonky, but I just love the colors, and it looks kind of like a totem pole, or you know, you can look at these and everybody sees something different. Here's the back. Now, I don't do the backs and the sides like this anymore. Just like I said, it was one of my very first ones. This is coated in resin, but the resin has gotten really dull on the front, so I might one day put a fresh coat of resin on it. And I made the little bale out of clay on this one, and I added a crystal to it. I usually don't make the bells out of clay anymore. I did it at the beginning though. And here's another one of the first ones I made. And there's the back. Oops, I made the bell the same way and added a crystal. Now this one, oops, what happened here? Oh, nothing. This one I made into a necklace, and I used some of the scrap clay from this and made different shaped beads. And I added crystals, and I made oblong beads. These are called lentil beads. They're kind of cool. And crystals. And then I have the flowers. All of these little clay beads I made out of the scraps. And I added chain to it, and I made the clasp, and so here's it's really hard to tell how it hangs because of the camera angle. I guess I can tilt this up and show you. Let's see, this way. I could put it on, but I'm looking at my computer to see what y'all are seeing. Anyway, there's the whole necklace. Here's the clasp, and easy to put on and off. So that's number 2. Let me put my camera back down. The other ones I'm going to pick up off the floor. Excuse me real quick. Oh, goodness. These 2 I made recently. They're kind of cute, pretty, or whatever. I wore this one yesterday, the day before. It's pretty, huh? I left the back of this plain. Oh, you can see where the resin's coming up. Lucky I'm not selling that. That one's for me. I couldn't sell that. But this I just used a jump ring for the bell. I drilled a hole and put a jump ring through it. And here's another one. You can see the high shine. That's from, it's a UV resin. This UV resin dries very fast. And I used a jump ring for the bail on this one also. Now, just for your information, I'm going to pull something down and y'all are going to die. This is only one of my trays full of pendants. I mean, this is overflowing full of pendants. I have every color, every shape, every size. I like that one. I mean, you can see, I could be pulling these out for days. Oops, the light's really catching that resin, huh? Here's one I need to fix. I forgot what happened to it, but I like this one a lot. There we go. Let me show you one where if you mix the clay too much, what happens. You get something like this, which is really hard to see. I cannot believe I keep forgetting to turn this phone off. I'm so sorry. But see how, like, oh my goodness, what in the heck? Oh shoot, I have a doctor's appointment I need to call and cancel. I totally forgot I needed to do that. I am bad. That wasn't a very good example. Let me find another one where it just gets, everything gets so small. Like this one, it's hard to see. See how small everything is? Like these are big and bold. This is tiny little. You can't really pick anything out of it or make, you can't see as clearly as the ones where you don't overmix the clay. Some of these are really ugly. I don't know what I'm going to do with some of them. I really don't. Here, this is kind of cool. This kind of, I tried to make it look like a wood grain, not in wood colors, but I tried to make it look kind of like, you know, a wood grain. Here, this was way over mixed. This doesn't have any resin on it, or I don't always use resin. Sometimes I use, believe it or not, on the beads I use floor wax, and or like Sculpey makes a varnish that you can put on that isn't near as shiny as the resin. But anyway, you can see, I thought this one was kind of neat, but I didn't cut cut it out very well. Odd colors, but I like it a lot. I haven't worn it yet. Okay, so this is just one of the trays I have. And I have a lot more where this came from. Anyway, let me put this back. Here's an interesting one. I tried to make this look like what's it called? I can't even. I'm at a loss for words now. I tried to make it look like here's another one. Not resin. It starts with a oh my gosh. I'll think of it in a minute. Anyway, people are always trying to make clay look like something else that it's not. Oh, here's some interesting ones I've done lately. I really like this. I haven't put a finish on it yet. This is a pendant, and then I have the earrings to match. Kind of cool. And this happened totally by accident. I'm going to show you sometime how I made that. Look at all these little beads. I have a ton of beads. These are all earring parts. Oh my goodness. I mean, I could just keep going. These are all earring parts that I need to finish making into earrings. Anyway, I have drawers like full of pendants. I will never get around to making all the necklaces I could. Here's another box full. Crazy, huh? I'm telling you, I have made so much in clay that I don't have the time to make them into jewelry. Oh, another thing that I've been making lately, I'm going to show you guys. I think they're so cute. Are these rings? They're they are, you know, flowers, of course, with the Swarovski crystals in the center. They're kind of cool, aren't they? And this is the gold. I'm going to try making different colored use different colored clay rather than the gold. But oops, that's kind of big. Kind of cute. I thought they turned out kind of cute. That one's too big. There's one. Would look cute with the right outfit. I really like these. So let's try to slice into our clay. Now, the blades come in different sizes and different thicknesses. These are really stiff blades, real stiff blades. And then I also have, you can actually get them like with handles on. That you can't really bend, but then you have these really flexible ones, and this is each one of them is for a different purpose, which you'll learn down the line. But right now you want to find a stiff blade to cut through this because you don't want your blade to start going all wonky. So this blade is pretty stiff. So is this one. This one actually has two handles. I don't know what happened to this one. I think I'm going to use this one. I don't know what happened to the other handle. It came off in my hand one day, and I never glued it back on. So what I've been doing lately to square it up is taking a thin slice off each side to try to make it more square, which you don't have to do, but I don't know. I've just been doing it lately, and that wasn't a very good slice. See, this clay is really soft because of, how much I worked it, and you really need to let it sit a little longer. But each time you take a slice off, look, you can butt them up, and you can see how pretty, and they mirror each other. They also mirror each other going this way, so you can like switch it around and see which way you like better. Now I do see there were some air bubbles in here. That means I didn't push the clay together enough, and there were air bubbles inside, which we can rub out later. But so let me continue to take slices off the ends, just to try to, it's really not working very good because the clay is so soft. Now, I'm going to do this. I'm pushing it down to get it to stick, so when I slice, it doesn't move very much. Okay. Now, this didn't work very well because see how small this side ended up? It's because the clay is so soft that it all got smushed together when I sliced it. That's not good. You really need to wait longer and let this clay get hard, or else you're going to have trouble. So let me just go on the long ends. That might be a little easier, so I'm not having to go through so much clay. Now, here's one, and I'm going to take the next slice because this is a mirror image. There's going to be a mirror image of that one I just took off. Ooh, this is where I have trouble. Okay, this is the one that I took off first. Very, very pretty. Very nice, I think. Oops. Look at how pretty that is. I love that. Now you can switch it and look at it this way. And that's pretty too. So it's a personal choice. I sure did like the first way, I think. But what you do is you line it up, and what I do now is, oh, this is just beautiful. These colors are so pretty. I am very, very pleased with this. I have sheets of parchment paper that I cut up, and you can reuse these over and over. These are so old, but I put them on parchment paper. That way I'll be able to slide it around and work on it later. Now look at how pretty the next slice is going to be. Let's see what we get from that one. I need to turn my notifications off on that phone. Okay, this pretty slice is on the back of one of those, so we're not going to get to use that. And I don't think the next slice is near as pretty. No, it's not. I don't think. I don't like that near as much, but it's pretty too. I mean, let's try it this way. Oh, good Lord. I'm going to have to do something about that phone. I apologize, you guys. I just got service on that phone and didn't realize all the notifications were going to start coming through. Either way you do it, it's pretty, but I don't think it's near as pretty as this side would have been. But oh well. Let's keep slicing through it and see what we get. You want to try to make the slices about the same thickness. You don't want one side to be a lot thicker than the other side. And here's what we got next. I don't like this very much at all. I think there's too much orange and too much green. I don't know. I don't like that. So let's see. Let's go back to this one. And it can go like that or like this. Doesn't really matter, I don't think. And you can also turn it and look at it from a different viewpoint. Sometimes that changes everything too. So this one, I don't think it really matters. Just leave it. I'm going to leave it like this. This side seems to be sticking together better. So anyway, you slice through this and you continue and continue down till you have nothing, and you end up with scrap pieces that you can, oh my gosh, I am so sorry. Let me see if I can turn this off. I can right there. Silent mode. Okay, so you end up with the scrap pieces from this, and you can squish them back together. You don't really need to twist these because they've already been twisted enough. But then you can make a small rectangle and see, what I should do is mix all of these together. That's what I'm going to do. So I don't want them to be too busy, but I have to get them to mix somehow. So I'm going to cut these down, spread them a little bit. Oops. And this one I will do the same. Yeah, see, it's starting to get too small, so I'm going to have to be very careful. This might not work, but we're going to try. Yeah, it might not work because this is pretty already been. So let's just do the same thing that we did with the big one. And this one I am definitely going to have to let sit for a little while. And I'm going to have a part 3. Like I said, I'm trying to keep these videos to about 30 minutes, which it's been 34 minutes almost. So I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to continue to make this into a rectangle using my plexiglass, and I'll let it sit long enough so when I make part 3, we'll be able to slice into this one with ease. You know what I mean? In the meantime, thanks so much for coming back for part 2. And I hope you're enjoying this and learning something. And I will have part 3 real soon, probably a few hours after I post part 2. Y'all have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye now.